Continuing in the Garden of Emuna on page 175, Pidyon Nefesh. This is a subject in its own. It's a redemption of the soul. Pidyon Nefesh is something that we utilize. It's another tool in our arsenal that we have to know, that we have teshuvah, we have tefillah, Emuna, and it's all from Hashem. And remember how we discussed that tzedakah is the shield that protects you? So the Pidyon is a similar concept, and we'll get into it in a little bit. The Rabbi first has been explaining to us that when a person, chas v'shalom, gets sick, that there's a certain time frame that's going to take till go through its decree. There's a time frame, when, who, everything's written out. Everything Hashem does is fully well thought out. We spoke about tshuva and tefillah, how those are very important components, and how they can very often make miracles and change complete outcomes. There's another thing that we need to get involved in that helps us mevatel decrees, and that's Pidyon Nefesh. It's giving money to a tzaddik and asking the tzaddik to pray for you, and asking the tzaddik to do a Pidyon for a rectification for your soul. What does this do? The Pidyon sweetens judgments. It does something that's hamtakat hadin. What is sweetening judgments? The same way we have lemonade. What do? You take lemon and you add sugar. You take coffee and you add sugar. You take bitter and you add something sweet to it. So to us and Hashem, we have a way of reducing the amount of bitterness that's in our coffee, that's in our life, that's in our sickness. And we do that by giving money to a tzaddik. And then all that problem that we just discussed, that the decree is set up for a certain amount of time, and so on and so forth, no longer has to be done that way. Because now you have the tzaddik praying for you, and you have the tzaddik sweetening the judgments on you. Now you can go to the doctor. And giving a Pidyon works. Because there's testimony, and we've seen it. I had myself have given many Pidyon in my life, Baruch Hashem, but we got to find the tzaddik. We have to find the right people to give it to. We're not just randomly, giving it to our shul rabbi, or me, for sure not. We're not on any kind of level. However, Rav Nachman does give us advice, and Rav Arush gives us advice that at least we should go to the elders of the Breslover Hasidim, that they are familiar with this inyan, with Pidyon Nefesh, and they know how to connect themselves and bind themselves with the tzaddikim, and therefore try to affect the sweetness of the judgment that's required. And the most important is that they know the correct text of the Pidyon. So these things are very important. And another very important rule when it comes to Pidyon, like Rabbi Natan Zal tells us in Likutei Tefillot, chapter 123, he tells us over there that we can't be stingy. Don't think you're going to come to the tzaddik and give him $5. You spend more on that in coffee and Starbucks. You have to come and give a substantial amount of money to the tzaddik. What does this all do? What does giving money to a tzaddik do for me? Maybe I should just give regular tzedakah. There's no question, yes, give regular tzedakah. But having a tzaddik pray for you in kamu, there's no such thing. No other benefit you can find in the world. Why? Because tzaddik is connected to Hashem. He's living this Emuna all day long. He is directly in touch. And therefore, you have a big tzaddik praying for you, you have Rav Chaim praying for you, you have people that we know in the past where people were zochet to give Pidyon to Rav Nachman, and people saw with their own eyes how it helped them, how it helped the people. First-hand accounts of this. This is not anything that we're telling you from Baba Mises. These are really true things. And like we've been discussing before, we saw the Baba Sali. We know that tzaddikim have a power. There was another story one time where somebody got sick and he asked this rabbi if he can go see the doctor. So he answered him in a funny way. He said, why, did the doctor make you sick? So he said, no, of course not. So who made you sick? So Hashem, we have to just think. We have to just open our eyes a little bit. Pay attention. What do we have to do? Ask Hashem what to do. Ask Hashem, why do I have this sickness? And try to make tshuva as best we can. Give tzedakah, but make sure we give it pidyon. Make sure we give pidyon to tzaddikim. Try to find people that are connected to Rav Nachman, that we can affect some sweetness in our life. The doctors can't help us without going to Hashem. There's nothing he could do. He could hurt us, has v'shalom. People, we know that there's power given to the rofeh, and they can also kill, has v'shalom. We have to be very, very careful. But the most important thing is to remember, there's only one rofeh, and there's only one everything. Enod milvado. There's nobody but him. He's the guy, he's the address for everything. We have to pay attention. We should be zocher, we're paying attention. Hatzlacha rabah.